Today is the 3-year anniversary of no sex for me. So I'm pretty sure that it's closed up down there. What would I want for my inauguration? I would want Motley Crue playing, and I would want it to be held at Hooters because that's my personality. Even racist white men like a fat ass. So I wonder if they sort of put J-Lo in there as a buffer. Even if you wanted to storm the Capitol and like rid America of minorities, like you might want to do that, but you're not going to do that when J-Lo's performing. Well, I was a virgin until I was 23. Imagine going all through college with your hymen still intact. It's like, maybe I should take a muscle relaxant just to like calm myself down. But then I was like, oh my God, what if I pass out mid-coitus?
So how would you rate yourself 1 through 10 on your first performance?
I definitely wasn't a dead fish. Like I went in in good spirits. I listened to instructions. I did limber up before I go. So, he had the legs behind my head first time. They went back, no issue. The first time I was like, okay, like a little bit nervous. But then after that, I was like, put me in, coach. Like I'm ready to go. I was like, this poor guy, I probably wore him out. I probably took years off of his life, apologies to his future grandchildren, just because I was so demanding for sex in the months to come. I was trying to take like a nude in the tub. If you drop the phone in the tub, would it electrocute you? Can you imagine? Like I would just be like, even in death, I'd be disgracing the family. The police come and they're like, what was the last photo she took? And then it's like me, like naked. It's like, oh, great. I mean, good for the police, but bad for everybody else. I think that's why his hand is blue, because he's been beating off so much, I don't even think his wife touches him. I think she just sits in front of him and says, don't give the poor people money. And he's like, yeah. And then he's just... All of a sudden, I'm like horny for Mike Pence, like just because he stood up to the bullshit. Like Mitt Romney is the subject of my masturbation fantasies. Sorry, mom and dad, but he really is. He doesn't believe in my right to choose, but he's also not storming the Capitol in animal pelts. There has to be like a happy medium between like Proud Boy and Antifa in terms of the dating pool. Yeah, if there's any Republican guys listening to this and you want a chance, stand up to Trump and I'm gonna be wet. Sorry, mom and dad. But that's where we're at right now. I mean, all of the people from the riot, they all looked like they were fathered by Sloth from the Goonies. I was like, are we trying to overthrow the government or are we remaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Because I can't tell right now. Like, was there a full set of teeth in the entire crowd? I don't think so. They're inbred. And I feel like I can say that because I'm 25% hillbilly. And I know people who have slept with their first cousins. Okay, I know them when I see them. So be like a civilized human and sleep with your third cousins, for God's sakes. It was like Black Monday. Like we just woke up one day and all the porn was gone. The great Pornhub purge of 2020. Now, because of this situation, I've been reaching out to close friends for their homemade videos. Like people like to just send me, men and women, like to send me like their nudes and their sex tapes. It's kind of like when somebody shows you a picture of their baby. Even if it looks like a sea monkey, you have to be like, oh, it's really cute. I could be like the Martin Scorsese of porn directors. This is an art form, and you have to treat it as such. I ate a piece of pizza, and now I feel like the Goodyear blimp. Like the Goodyear blimp is too happy. I feel like the Hindenburg. Is that the one that crashed? If I did have a boyfriend, like what would I give him for Valentine's Day? Like I date cavemen, so like that's what I'm, I know that they're men of simple pleasures, and it's just very easy to deal with them. I feel like my gift would be like, we can make a sex tape, I'll feed you junk food, and then I'll listen to you, talk about the Giants offense and pretend to care. What is the deal with hand jobs? I honestly thought that once you're giving blowjobs, hand jobs become obsolete. Like now that I'm getting back in the game, I feel like my hand job skills need to be, it's like my resume, like my hand job skills need to be up to date. Otherwise, I'm gonna become obsolete in the dating game.
Do you think you're ill-equipped for a hand job? Do you think you'd be good at hand jobs?
I guess we're gonna have to test it out. I more like the blowjob and then like put it in me. I didn't know I had to like have like, stick shift. I actually had a terrorist super like me on Tinder. What is it about me that makes a proud boy go, oh yes, there she is, my dream girl? The right do like the breasts. That's very true. They should put that on a bumper sticker. I would love to date a guy who wears flip-flops and eats granola and asks me if I'm comfortable during sex. That's not what I'm into. It's like you gotta drive a pickup truck or complain about your taxes, you know, and rail me. Like, that's what I want, and it's not convenient. All these guys talk a big game, and they'll be like, oh, you know, if you're a libtard, swipe left. But the minute they see some nice titties, they're like, bipartisanship, baby. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. Let's, you know, right and left together. At the end of the day, like, pussy is power. Never in history did anybody go to war over a dick. I could go to the dollar store and get 10 dicks if I wanted to. If I wanted to, I don't, but if I did, I could. I don't know. I think I could convince some guys to come on to the other side. I like my guns, but you know what? I also like her cannons. It wouldn't be the worst to see that up at the podium for the next 4 years. He and his buddies went to a strip club, and the stripper squirted breast milk into his friend's mouth.
Oh my God.
Like that game at the boardwalk, you know, where you like have to like get the water in the hole. Like I can make food with my body. How wild is that? Like it's not like a Sizzler where you can just like order up whatever you want. Like there's just one thing on the menu. When I was in middle school, I was in the fishing club with Mr. Wozniak and Mr. Lanny. The fishing club was lit. Me and my friend Catherine did it together. She went to cast out and she got her hook caught in my hair, and Mr. Lanny had to come running over, and I was like, Jesus Christ, we're setting women back like 30 years, you know? I felt like I could start my own fishing club. It's like Hooters, but nautical. And here's the name of my fishing club, Hookers.
I like that.
I have like the VR porn things on. Somebody's like fake blowing me, and his dog is like trying to jump up on the couch and lick me, and I'm like, dude, you gotta get the dog away. It's like, it's too weird. It's like, I'm not gonna masturbate in somebody's living room. This isn't France, you know, this is America. We don't do that here, you know, unless you live in like a certain part of the country. But you know, there's 180 degree VR porn and there's 360 degree. It's like if you're at an orgy, then you can get the full vista. The plot line was I was like a dude fishing by a lake, and some girl comes out of nowhere, services me. At the end of it, she like descends into the lake like a fucking mermaid and just disappears. Guys, this is like a guy's ultimate fantasy, is to like have sex with a lake woman. She disappears right after the fuck, and then your buddy comes out of nowhere to high five. It's like a fucking track meet. Like, what is going on? You're like high fiving afterwards? Like, what is going on? I've never hooked up with an Irish person. Nobody has ever blessed me with their shamrocks, you know, like nobody has ever bestowed that. Are the Irish well endowed? Irish river dancers. Michael Flatley, Feet of Flames, watched it on VHS at least 100 times. Looking back, I feel like that could have been my sexual awakening. Are leprechauns hot? When I was thinking of like hot, sexy redheads, I'm thinking of like, you know, Canelo the boxer, not Louis CK. There was definitely like a wide variation in the redheaded Mexican gene pool if we have, you know, Canelo on the one hand and we have Louis CK on the other hand. My dad has a nail gun going in the background. At least something is getting nailed around here.
Whoa, 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 Bree Hunter is fucked.